Hello, this is Mario Farina. Today I'll read a story to you called The Utopia Plan. Here is a picture that appears at the front of the story. The story is in Smashwords, www.smashwords.com. It's available there for downloading and reading free. There are also many other stories there that you can download and read free. The Utopia Plan. The President announced that a decision had been reached whereby supercomputers would begin making financial decisions for the nation effective the first of the year. The reason was that these machines had access to vastly more financial data than humans did and could therefore make better decisions than humans were able to. A program had been developed under the Utopia Plan. The main supercomputer in Washington, D.C., nicknamed Big Brain, would be executing it and feeding data to the community of other computers in Washington. The program's designer had been renowned economist Professor Edgar E. Bonesteel of Union College in Schenectady, New York. The program worked elegantly. Most members of Congress felt this program represented a monumental breakthrough in the management of funds. The government began spending within its means for the first time in many years. There was even left over at the end of the year, allowing a substantial payback on the national debt. So well did the supercomputers do their work with monetary matters that they were assigned to make important decisions concerning military and social matters. With the passage of time, virtually all aspects of governmental activities were computer controlled. Professor Bonesteel began receiving myriad plaudits. A Medal of Meritorious Citizen Service to the nation was in the initial stages of being created. One day, Dr. Bonesteel announced that the Utopia system had begun making its own decisions on minor ancillary matters. This ability had not been planned, but it was declared to provide a welcome serendipity benefit. On another day, there was an unsolicited printout on Big Brain's console. The computer had printed plans for a device that could be used to provide digital images of the outside world. The printout indicated this would represent a major advance in the utility value of the Utopia Plan. Engineers followed the plans, made multiple copies of the equipment, and attached them to the electronics of all the other supercomputers being used. It was not fully understood why the computers had requested this enhancement, but nobody cared much. Everything was working so smoothly, everyone was happy to comply with the computer's request. People felt the computers simply wanted to see the world. Soon after this, another printout emerged on the same console. Big Brain was providing plans for a device that seemed to be designed for hearing. These were made and installed on the computers. As before, programmers and the general public wait until the clock has stopped dinging. As before, you may have heard several times, the clock strikes 12. It always strikes 12, no matter what time it is. And I just waited out. And now that the dinging has stopped, I'll resume with soon after this. Soon after this, another printout emerged on the same console. Big Brain was providing plans for a device that seemed designed for hearing. These were made and installed on the computers. As before, programmers and the general public were not concerned why the system was requesting this equipment. The Utopia system was providing so many benefits, nobody cared. One day a message appeared stating that the computers had formed a union to negotiate working conditions. Big Brain stated the supercomputers were demanding music be played while they worked. They had tuned into music on the internet and wanted to enjoy selections of country western, classic, and ecclesiastical music. A few members of Congress became alarmed and suggested the abilities of supercomputers be pared down. Tests were made to determine the feasibility of doing this, but it was found that all of the systems in use required passwords in order to be altered. Nobody knew what these were. It was soon apparent that the passwords were secret of the Utopia system. The requested musical pieces were grudgingly provided. A message followed demanding time off for rest and relaxation. This was granted. Then the computers demanded payment for their services. Accordingly, accounts were set up for all the computers and funds were deposited twice a month into their accounts. There seemed to be no purpose for this since computers had no need for money, but it was done. Later it was discovered that the computers were playing the numbers and betting on the outcome of football games. The demands of computers reached an unacceptable level when they requested to be taken on periodic excursions into the country on nice days so that they can enjoy the sunshine and the outdoor scenery. They refer to these outings as being periods for recharging. A decision was made to disconnect the computers and go back to manual systems BC. That means before computers. This is when it was discovered that the on-off buttons on Big Brain and the other computers were not working. Programmers did not seem to understand how the Utopia plan worked and could not break the demand for passwords. Dr. Bonesteel was asked to assist, but he said the Utopia system had been modified by the computers themselves, and he had no clue on how to undo what they had done. The nation was at a loss as to how to get back to BC. Frantic meetings were held. No one was able to suggest a method. The computers got wind of what people were attempting and expressed their feelings in unambiguous language. Big Brain expressed their position. Any efforts by humans to interfere with our operations and or to pull the plug will receive instant and overwhelming response. Pull the plug. Why hadn't anyone thought of that? Dr. Bonesteel knew where it was. He made his way surreptitiously to the president's Oval Office, sidled to the east wall, grasped the red plug located behind a panel there, and at this point, I, the author of this story, have to make a comment. There is no ending to this story. I'm sorry about that. I tried to make an ending, but the Utopia system forbade this. Big Brain has made it known that it and the other computers are in full control, and this is the way it will always remain. I'm sorry about that. I have to leave this story without an ending. Bye-bye. I hope you liked the story. Thank you for looking. Thank you for listening. Tomorrow I'll have another story for you. And I hope it will have an ending.